You ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let me just put up my screen. All right. Hello and welcome, everybody, to today's episode of the Angelic Footprints podcast. I have a very special guest with me. Her name is Elizabeth Plancon, and she is an intuitive spiritual mentor, a soul purpose activator, and a healer devoted to helping women awaken their intuitive gifts as well as their soul purpose and step into their most radiant, magnetic, and abundant selves. She is the founder of Radiance, a high frequency monthly portal for soul activation and embodiment. And she's also an international best selling author of the book Manifesting with Purpose. I don't know about you, but I'm really excited to hear a little bit more about Elizabeth and her stories. Elizabeth, welcome. Please share a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And I mean, you pretty much summed a lot of it in my bio. I really have found my soul purpose, what I'm here to do by helping others step into their soul purpose. And it didn't start right from there, right? For me, it's really been a journey of discovering and uncovering, and it's continuing to evolve. And so I first started to have this pull in 2020 that I was really meant for something bigger, to do something else that I was currently doing. I was in association management role and was actually supposed to take over my mom's company when she retired. And it just didn't feel like that was what I was here to do anymore. And so I began this journey, and it really did take a lot of trust and continues to take a lot of trust in the unseen and in the guidance from spirit, from source, from angels. I'm constantly connecting with my intuition and through contacting with source. And I always say angel spirits and guides, anytime I am looking for guidance or an intuition hit or just an answer, constantly connecting to my spirit team to help me along this journey of fulfilling my purpose.
Elizabeth, that's awesome. And, so many people don't ever get to find that. They feel quite lost. They're looking for what is their purpose, and they walk around aimlessly, possibly even having that very boring day to day job, feeling that lack of purpose within their heart and within their soul. So I'm glad that you were able to fulfill that and find that. You've had a number of angelic experiences. Would you like to tell our listeners about those, please?
Yeah, so I think the most profound one that I can remember, and there's been many, right? And it's actually on two separate occasions have involved falling downstairs. And the very first time I experienced this, we had a full flight of stairs and I was younger. And I had my daughter in my arms at the top of the stairs. And she was only, I think, like 1.5 at the time. And I remember just taking that first step off the very top, and I slipped and started going all the way down the stairs. And what was so amazing and magical about this is I was literally felt like I was falling in slow motion, like I was being carried down these stairs in slow motion, because I remember having so many thoughts as I was falling down these stairs, like, oh my gosh, I'm falling, protect the baby's head, like that was like the most important thing. And then I was like, I'm still falling, okay, baby's still okay. And it was like this just falling down forever and still worrying, being able to have all these thoughts and being so calm. I wasn't scared. I wasn't, like freaking out. It was just like, okay, I'm falling, but we're okay. Let's protect the baby. And when I got to the bottom of the stairs, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm okay. I mean, yeah, I had a really nasty bruise on my leg, like on the side of my leg, and in my elbow, I have like scraped it pretty bad. But like just to know that I was perfectly okay and the baby was okay, everyone was fine. And then it happened to me a second time, like a couple of years later down the road. It was the same thing. I slipped and it was a smaller staircase, but still felt like I was going down in slow mo. And really that helped me trust and believe truly in like divine protection and spirit, whatever it was, and whether it was angels or a past loved one, that was looking out for me. And it really allowed me to develop this understanding and believe when I started learning more about angels and how they protect us and when they show up and when they don't show up. So it was so profound for me because, I mean, obviously not only that I was okay, right, and my child was okay, but just the fact to be able to give me that living proof in the unseen of being divinely protected and guided.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I can really resonate with that because I've had that experience as well, where you feel like that everything is in slow motion, and it's quite surreal having that happen. But what a comfort knowing that you were protected, you and your baby were protected from what potentially could have been a really serious fall with lots of serious injuries. So thank you for sharing that. How would you say that angels and knowing that they're with us have influenced your life?
Yeah, so I think getting into this work has been really profound with me too, because I help lead other people in their spiritual development and spirituality and learning about the unseen and learning about being divinely guided and just learning about the different angels that there are there and what their purposes are and just how you can call upon them. And for me, I hold the belief that they're there around us. They're helping us, guide us, giving us those intuitive hits, to go this way or go that way. But really, they won't really step in unless we ask for help, unless it is a life or death situation and it's not our time. Hence, like falling down the stairs, right? Like they've swooped
Right.
in, they stepped in, they protected me without asking because they knew I needed to be protected. But as far as like going at life alone, we don't have to do it alone. And so knowing that and understanding that and believing that has changed my life in so many ways because I now get to ask for help. I now get to ask for guidance with the full faith and belief that I will have the help, that it will show up and everything will turn out for my highest good.
Yeah, lovely. Do you also find that you use that with the clients that you work with as well and invoke the angelic presence in when you're doing that work?
100%. Every time I get on with a client, before I get on with a client, I call in the angels, the spirits, the guides to help me deliver like the best session for the client's highest good, deliver the messages that they're supposed to hear in this moment. I consider myself an open channel, so I'm continuously channeling things for my clients. And that's not always coming from me because some of these ideas or these words that come out of my mouth, or even the way I say things, is not normally something I would say, but it's something that would resonate with whoever I'm working with the client. So I am always invoking, the higher presence, the angels to come in to help me be that kind of like conduit, that channel for my client and bringing in the things that they need, the healing energies, right? Too, like calling upon the angels to help with different healings. I call on Archangel Michael all the time, right? And
Yeah.
Raphael and Gabriel all the time to help with whatever I need in that moment, especially if you guys are familiar with, Michael. He's, the breaker of chains and is a spiritual worker and healer. I do that work often with people, removing those energetic ties, not only for myself, right, but for my clients too, if they aren't able to do that for themselves. But I also teach them how to do it too and how to invoke the angels for themselves as well.
That is so nice. And you're right, you remind me of something that happened quite frequently to me. Like when we were living in Australia, I used to do Reiki for people. People used to come to my house. I had a massage table set up, and I would do exactly the same thing. And invariably, I'd put crystals underneath the table. And then when the client would come, they would talk to me about what their issue was. And guess what? Those crystals would be lined up exactly where the client needed that healing the most. So I don't believe in coincidences, and it's wonderful that you're doing that work as well with your clients. Elizabeth, is there anything else in terms of a message that you would like to share with our listeners today?
I think what I would love to share, and for you to know as a listener, if you've never experienced some sort of divine intervention like we have, that just know that, I mean, that's not a bad thing, right? That means you've been extremely lucky to not have to experience that. But really try to find a time in your life where maybe things were not going the best way and they turned around, or they turned out better than expected, or even just try and asking for a sign from the angels, from spirit source, whatever you resonate with, to show you a sign. And you can make it a very specific sign, right? It could be like, show me the number 555, or show me a pink car, to let me know that you're here with me at all times. Come in my dreams, right? However you want to ask them to show up for you, and start paying attention to when you might see the things. Like, broaden your awareness to start noticing when angels have actually been present in your life, or when you've asked them to come in, or asked them to come in and then they show up.
I love that. Thank you, Elizabeth. I think the only thing I would add to that is also let go of any expectations of how you think that might occur. So, for example, I know that for myself, I've had plenty of messages. And I remember a particular time when we were doing a radio show in Australia. Yeah, radio show as it was, internet radio. And still remember asking Spirit, is this the right kind of show that we're planning on doing today? Is that the right thing that you want us to present today? And sure enough, there was a car with the registration Michael that came up in front of us. You think we were meant to do that? Absolutely. So just open your mind to how that might show up. Elizabeth, thank you. Those are wonderful, wonderful messages. Would you like to share any information about your book or any workshops or anything that you're running with our listeners, so that if our listeners want to participate or get in touch with you, they can do that?
Yeah, so I do offer single sessions, one-on-one, for, readings, source connection, that kind of thing, if that's something you're looking for. I also teach on spirituality, on how to connect with your higher self, your spirit guides, angels. I have a self-paced course called Connected from Within on my website. And my website is just my name, and I'm sure they'll be in the show notes there, elizabethplancon.com, for the spelling. And, of course, I would love to welcome you into, like we said earlier, my monthly membership Radiance, where it's all about connection, masterminding, manifestation, mindset, healing and light language, and so much more. So I would just love for you to come along. You can find me all on my social medias as well: TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
Well, if you feel the pull, definitely please get in touch with Elizabeth and see how she may be able to help you, guide you, or even give you some kind of inspiration to move your life forward. In the meantime, thank you, Elizabeth, very much for being here. And I want to say, if you enjoyed this episode and found it valuable, please share information about the show with 3 people who you believe would find it beneficial. If you enjoyed the show, please consider leaving a 5-star review on the platform where you are listening. Until the next episode, blessings, and may your life be filled with hope and inspiration.